on this computer. There we go. All right, so the overnight high. You can hover over here and it will tell you the times and everything. So 6650, double click the red line. It'll pop this up 20066.5. So put that 0.5 there. Because you want to get it, you want to get exactly on the high and exactly on the low. The low is 85.5. 85.5. So my overnight low is green because when the market comes down there, I'm looking to buy the market. The overnight high is red because if it comes up this high, I'm looking to sell. That doesn't mean it's 100% guarantee you're going to drop. What that means is more than likely to go down when it get up this high. But always want to wait till the candle gets to that red line to see how it acts. Sometime it'll get to that red line, it'll start hesitating. That's when I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable taking it when it hesitates. But y'all know sometimes it'll go to that line and shoot straight past it. You know what I'm saying? Completely ignore it. So always wait to see what the candle does. And that's any level. Any level you mark, wait to see what the candle does when it gets to it. If it taps it 2, 3 times, I'm taking that trade. But sometimes if it just hits it and it keeps going up, that's trying to stop a freight train. You know, because you're not wrong. You just might be too early. It still might drop at that level. Sometimes it'll get to the level, it'll go above it, which is called a sweep. It'll get all the people lunch money that was waiting at that line, and then it will go down from that line. So sometimes you just got to wait a little bit, let it come back down, and then take the trade. It's a bull trap sweep and it's a bear trap sweep.
You're just waiting your time to eat, right?
Yeah,
Technically.
because just because you got to realize if you're waiting at that level, you're not the only person that's there. There's a bunch of people waiting at that same level. The market makers, the people that are actually putting millions to make the market go up and down, they know is a bunch of people waiting there, right? You can literally see the orders with time and sales. You can see the orders waiting there chilling. What they do, they'll get you in a trade. They'll go a little bit higher to get all the new people that are sitting real close. You know, you got your break, your stop loss, like 10 ticks. They snatch up all their lunch money, then they'll go back down. What I do, if it goes above it, I'll wait for it to come back down, then I'll sell and catch it on the way down. But a lot of times, if it taps that level 2, 3 times, then I'll feel comfortable taking that trade because if it taps it twice and it doesn't break through it, that means there's enough sellers there to let the market come on down. So it's two strategies that I use to enter a trade. I wait for 2 to 3 taps, or I wait for it to go through it and come back down. As long as it doesn't close above that level, meaning the candlestick went above it and then it stopped and another one opened. That's when it closes above the level. So those are two things that I look out for before I jump in. So when you notice a lot of times if you take a trade, it'll knock you out the trade, take your money, then go in the direction you knew it was going to go in. That's a sweep. That's how you avoid that sweep. Either wait for the 3 taps. If it taps once and then break through it, just wait for it to come back down before you take that short or sell.
That's happened to me so many times in
Yep.
Forex that fake out, like it'll act like it's yeah. I get what you're saying on that part.
Yep. It's called a bear trap or a bull trap sweep. Because at the end of the
So
day, their job is to make money.
so when you see it about to at least tap the line,
Mhm.
wait for it to go over and not close it out, but wait for it to go over a couple times
Yeah,
and
just
lock in.
just just wait to see how it acts. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? A lot of times, if the market's going up fast, it'll get to that level, it'll stop at a level, and then go straight through it. You know what I'm saying? So you want to wait to see what it does when it gets to your level. Don't just have a resting order just sitting there.
Hmm.
Now, when once you have a little more cushion in your account, like I'll place a resting trade because my stop loss is 60 plus ticks away. So I'm able to take that sweep and wait for it to come back down while I'm in a trade because I have more cushion. But when you're new, you got a brand new 25K account, you don't have no cushion yet. So you might not be able to take that trade and wait for it to come back down. So just wait a little bit to see how it acts around there before you jump in. And that's why I said the more money you make, the bigger your cushion, the easier trading gets. Because if you got a $30,000 cushion, guess what? You can sit in a trade all day and just stare at it. You know what I'm saying? Because the market, all it does is breathe. Breathes in, breathes out. Sometimes it breathes in more than it breathes out. But if you got enough money in your account, you could wait and chill until it starts making money and then get out.
Good morning, Cole. Quick question, please.
Mhm.
So when you say once it breaks through and you wait for it to come back down, are you waiting for it to close below the line before you take the trade?
No, no, no. I literally wait for if my level is right here, when the market comes up to it, it breaks above it a little bit, and then it starts coming back down. And as it starts inching down, I jump right back in right there. I'll
Okay,
sell it, catch it on the way down.
okay. Thank you.
But if it goes above it and it closes, and then another candle opens, now that level that you was looking for a sell, I would look for a buy. If it goes above and close and another candle open, now that resistance is now support. I won't be looking for a sell no more. I'll more so look for a buy.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
if it goes
Thank
above
you.
it and then it starts coming back down, I'll sell it because it hasn't closed above it yet.
So that means it'll be like a wick when it
Yeah,
closes.
yeah, yeah, like these long wicks, like this brown line right here. It jumped way above that brown line, but eventually it's like, all right, let me come back down. And look how if you had enough heat, you could have took that trade and rolled that from that brown line all the way down here. But you had to have that heat though. You might not have an account size and a cushion to wait this out. So if you would have just waited for it to come back down and took the trade right here again, okay, now I'll sell it. You could have sold it and rolled the way down. And that's a lot of money. So sometimes you don't have enough cushion to take negative $300, $400 of heat before it turns around to make you money.
Especially in the prop firms. I feel like when I was doing it, it had that restriction. So I was comfortable with sitting in drawdown for a little bit, but it would like knock me out. Like, no.
Yeah, and if you're it all depends on how you trade, right? Like I have a friend of mine, he could not pass a 25K account to save his life. But I was like, well, won't you try the 250s? He got a 250K account, passed it in a week. So a lot of times it could be that $1,500 loss is just too tight of a loss for you. So you might want to get a bigger size account.
So you're never out the game,
Yeah,
is what
yeah.
you're
It's,
saying.
it's just it's just
Okay.
based on the way the way you trade. Like me, I like the 25s and the 50s because in the beginning it made me a sniper. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure my entry was perfect because I only had $1,500 of risk. But now that I have a 250, when I got my first 250K account done, I was doing 5, 6 contracts at a time because I was such a sniper playing around with the 25Ks. That 250, when I got into a trade, I was like, boom, immediate money. Because I worked on my entry so much. When I take a trade, I don't take a lot of heat. So I
Yeah, I
can
want to
do
work on
10
my entry.
contracts. Huh?
I said, yeah, I want to work on my entry because that drawdown sometimes, like, it just be too much anxiety,
Yeah, it
especially if you
is.
don't know.
It's just the entry. Once you perfect that entry, you'll feel a lot better.
To my classmates, I got a question. When y'all placing your bets, do you sit and just wait on that one, or do you go ahead and look at a different one while that one is in play?
I don't know how futures work, but I know when I was doing currency pairs, if I was trading like Euro USD and GBP USD, depending on like if the minors were the same or the major, whichever ones were the same, sometimes they will be moving in the same direction. So I would, but for me, I probably would just like now starting with futures, I would just do one at a time because I feel like you could spread yourself too thin, and then I don't know, it just nerve wracking to me.
So, so what you mean, Rashad? You mean when you're in a trade, you're already looking for another one?
Not just looking, but just eyes open. Like you may see something happening. Yes, to answer your question. Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, that's why you mark up your charts in the morning and find all
Uh,
your levels. That way, when you place a trade, you know where the next trade already is.
yeah, I'll be looking.
Yeah, yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm
Because like,
saying. Like, go ahead, coach.
yeah, because like right here in this on this chart, I have a 4 hour level up here. I have a 1 hour here. Like all these lines are color coded based on the time frame that I found the level. So when I'm down here on a 5 minute chart, even if I'm in a trade, I can see all the other trades that I could possibly take because I marked them all up.
I have a
I'll
question about. Oh, go ahead.
I'll go and look for other like silver or gold.
Oh, you look at other, okay, other
Right.
instruments.
Yep.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't really look at other instruments when I trade. The only time I look at other instruments is if Nasdaq ain't hitting on nothing. Sometimes Nasdaq just be curving along the same level. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go over here to gold, see what I can get cracking over there. But yeah, but as far as Nasdaq, if I'm in a trade, I'll just focus on that trade until I get out. But I mark up my chart in the morning so I can already see all the possible trades that could happen.
And so you go from the top down, like daily, and then down.
Yep. Like right now, I'm on a 4 hour chart and I'm marking up all my 4 hour levels. And I just go down from there. So I'll do the daily. I mark up my levels, 4 hour, 1 hour, and then I take my trades off of the 5 minute. And that's why every level that I mark, I have it color coded. So if I'm on a 5 minute chart and I see a brown line, I know that's a 4 hour level. I don't have to keep swapping back and forth from 1 hour, 4 hour daily chart. Because on that 1 5 minute chart, I can see brown is a 4 hour, yellow is a 1 hour, and a white line is a daily level.
So again, you don't basically mark up the 5 minute chart. You just trade off the 5 minute chart.
Yeah. Yeah, because 5 minutes is too small to worry about a gap or stop resting orders in different types of trade. Like I'd rather just focus on the levels that I marked off already.
You heard that, Larry?
So how do you
Yeah.
change your perspectives when you are going from the top down? Like it's sometimes when I look on a daily and it may look like, okay, it's in the uptrend, but then I may go down to the 4 hour, but I'm seeing like bearish candle, like a pullback or something. Like how do you understand from the bigger picture and then down into like increments of like what's happening?
Okay, so in the morning when I first mark up my levels, like right here, the first candle is red. That tells me right there that the market wants to go down. I try not to be biased, but if I see a big red candle before 9:30 on the daily, that tells me that if I want to sell the market, I'll make more money on a sell than I would a buy. That don't mean I'm not going to take a buy, but that just mean if I buy the market, I'm only trying to get 50, 100, maybe 200, and I'm out of there. I'm not going to sit in that trade very long because the overall feeling of the day is red. So you
Right.
got to you trade. That's how I know to trade with the big guys. If I see a big red candle and it's not even 9:30 yet, oh, the big dudes want to go down. So I won't look at the daily after I mark it up. But I just have a mental note. If I take a buy, only try to get a 50 to 100 and get up out of there. because the overall mood is down. Always follow the trend. So you don't have to keep going back and forth to the daily. That morning, I see red. Okay, I'm gonna look for a sell. I'm more keen to stay in a sell longer than I am staying in a buy longer.
So with the daily, you should only be focused on the last
Yeah,
candle.
that's the only
Okay.
because
Okay.
even though there might be levels, like I still have it marked up. Like this white line, this is still a level up there. But look how far you got to go before it gets there.
Yeah. And
So
that's why
there's
you
no
see
need for
it
me
kind
to
of
focus on
messed
that too
up.
much.
Right. Okay. Got you.
Yeah, I got a long way before I go there. I'll still mark it, but yeah, I know the chance of going up there is very slim in one day. But
Okay.
the 4 hour and the 1 hour, oh, that could definitely happen. That's why it looks like a lot, but each one of these, yellow is a daily, I mean, a 1 hour, brown is a 4 hour. So on the 4 hour chart, I'm only looking for 4 hour levels. I'm not even moving around any of my yellow lines. I leave them just like they are because I only adjust it on the time frame that they're from. So I'm not going to adjust a 1 hour level if I'm on a 4 hour chart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's not going to be accurate. So right here, I'm marking up everything that's now right here. This old line, this brown line is not a level. It's an old level. So you make sure you get rid of anything that's old. But this level's still good because we haven't been back up there yet. This gap here is still good because we ain't been back up there yet. Even down here, even though this one touched this level down here, it didn't go all the way through it. So I'm gonna leave this level down here because it hasn't went through it yet. So it's still strong. You see right here, it didn't close in, it bounced back up. It came back down over here, it bounced in there and got pushed right back out. So this down here is still a very strong level. So I'll leave it there.
Hmm.
And then I go down from there, go down to the 1 hour. The 1 hour got a little bit more going on. And I'll mark up anything on the 1 hour that I see. There's a 1 hour. Now see this right here is a triple threat. You have three or more of the same color in a row. That is a trend to the downside, right? If the market comes back up here, is a very high probability it's going to get pushed back down because when there's a trend, the very first candle that started that trend mean that there's still sellers up there, and it's still a strong area of resistance. And you notice my red line is not that far above it. That is an overnight high, another strong level. So when I see a 1 hour level and a daily level, when I see more than one level in the same area, I'm taking that trade, I'm taking that sell. Win, lose, or draw, I'm taking it because it's like having backup. The 1 hour is one reason. You also got a daily as another reason. You got two good reasons why the market should go down if it
So
comes
you
back
don't
up
have
here.
to. So you don't have to wait until it breaks the last low of the uptrend.
No, no, that's more so like a
Then-
swing trade thing when you wait for it to break the level. But when
Mhm.
you're a beginner day trading, we're just trying to get $50 to $100 per trade. Okay, we're not trying to get
Okay. Mhm.
$5,000 a trade. Now that's more
Okay. Because I
advanced
know at
levels.
Forest they used to say, uh huh.
Go ahead.
They used to say like, well, when I was starting at Forest, they would say catch 30 pips at least. So is that not the same with? Are you not? You don't need to take. You don't take 30 like ticks, I guess, for you for.
Well, yeah, because in forex has that's the reason why forex is not as stable because forex has
Mhm.
big swings. You know what I'm saying? Forex
Okay.
out of nowhere will shoot straight up and then shoot straight down for no reason.
Hmm.
If in the futures market, if the futures market shoot up, you could probably pull up the news and be like, "Oh, Trump was talking at 10:30. That's why it shot
Hmm.
up." You know what I'm saying? Like if it shoot up, it's not a lot of times it's not random. But with
So with this, I
forex,
don't have to swing. I can just. I don't have to try to swing. It's just
yeah, yeah, you don't have to worry about swing trades up in here.
okay.
And plus, with a prop firm, you can't do a swing trade anyway. A swing trade is something that you hold overnight, but you won't see big swings in movements unless it's news.
Hmm.
But that's why I give you guys the two news channels that everybody checks. Like right here on Tuesday, we're
What are
trading
those?
Tuesday, huh?
What are those two news channels?
US.Econo Day and Forex Factory. US.Econo Day and Forex Factory, which they're also
Oh,
both in the course as well. So like Tuesday at 8:30, that was the only news that day. So you want to look for red and orange folders in Forex Factory and just look at the times. You can look right at the times that they're going to start. You just don't want to be in the market a minute before. So like this 8:30 red candle, I mean red folders, you just don't want to be in the market at 8:29. Because as soon as 8:30 hit, you'll see this start bouncing up crazy and then it stops like a good minute later. And on US.Econo Day, you want to look for the red and the green. And the reason why you check both is because sometimes one has news that the other one doesn't. And like what it was one of the days that Trump was speaking, and yeah, we was like, yeah, we not about to trade when he talked. We waited till after he finished, and then we started trading.
So when you said just now you had saw the three red candles going down, you said that was a triple, and based on the daily and the hour line, you would have sold it at the orange line when it came back up, or
The yellow line is my 1 hour level.
oh, okay,
The red line is the daily high, overnight high, and the overnight low is green. So every day I mark up the overnight high and the overnight low, and that's the very first candle on the daily chart. Because that's just saying from 6 o'clock last night, from 6 o'clock the night before till 9:30 in the morning, that was the highest point and the lowest point the market went, basically while you were asleep. So that's mostly the Asian market and the London market that's moving that daily candle.
Hey, Mr. H,
Yep.
on that triple threat that you was just doing, what would you take that trade at?
Now, mind you, the trade is way up here. It's way up here on a 5 minute chart. We're way down here. So by the time it comes up there, once again, I will wait to see when the market gets near my line. I'll wait to see if it taps my line and see if it goes past it. A lot of times it'll tap it 2, 3 times. I'll take a sell and write it down.
Oh,
Sometimes it'll
okay.
get to it, it'll slow down, and then it'll push straight through it. Then I'll wait for it to come back down and I'll take it right there and sell it on down. But if it doesn't come back down to it, say it goes up and it closes up here, another candle opens up. I'm no longer looking for a sell. I'm looking for a buy
But
because it,
you're
because it
not putting
closed
the
above it
resting
now.
you're not putting the resting order there.
No, 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 no.
and what would you sell down to those blue dotted lines?
Those are swing highs. You can sell down to there, but remember when you're just trying to build your cushion, your goal should be 50 to 100 per trade.
Okay,
Because I mean, from here down to these blue lines, way more than $100. 50
okay,
to 100 is fast. You get you,
okay.
and you only got to do that until you get a cushion. Then you can
hmm
start taking bigger trades.
So how many ticks is that? Like how many ticks is? Well, I know it depends on like your lot size
50,
and stuff,
50
but
bucks, one contract is 10 ticks. That's it.
okay, okay,
And 10 ticks in NASDAQ happens very fast.
okay.
So for clarification, Mr. H, when do you put in a resting order?
um, I put in a resting order at levels that I feel as though are more than likely. Like this right here, because if I see more than three things, three or more reasons to take a trade. So let's zoom out and see what's happening around here. Okay, so for example, Y'all see over here, and my overnight high is an overnight high, and you see the blue dots is also a swing high. So overnight high and a swing high, that's two reasons why I would take that trade, right? Not only is it two reasons, a swing high and the overnight high, but right below it was a triple threat. So I would put a resting order right here. I'll split the difference because I have three reasons right here why the market should not go much further above this. Is a more advanced is a more advanced strategy because I have enough cushion. I feel comfortable putting a resting order because I could take $4 or $500 worth of heat before the market turns around and makes me money. But you can also do the same thing on micros. Micros is a beginner's playground because with micros, you could do the same trade the same way I would do as a more experienced trader because micros are only 50 cents versus $5. So you could take the same trade like a professional in micros because you're not risking as much money.
Does that mean we're on M in
M and Q.
Q?
Yep.
Okay.
So on M and Q, let me clear this. M and Q looks exactly like NQ, right? It's really is the difference is so small you wouldn't even notice. You know, it might be one tick off, but it's not a lot, right? So if you look at the overnight high, this is micros. Let me move these out of the way. All right, where's my green line? I can't even find it. There it is.
Hey, coach, while you're making your micros and minis,
Mhm.
when you're doing your charts, like setting it up, do you have to do it over again if you're doing, say, if you have a micro, and you want to make a mini account or a chart?
Mhm.
Do you have to do the same order as you did the others, or you could set it for micros or minis?
Yeah, yeah, you got to do it separate because they're
Okay.
not the same chart.
Okay.
Like so in the morning, and that's the cool thing about having multiple screens. I'll have NQ on one screen, M and Q on the other screen. So I'll just be sitting there marking up both of them. All right, so as you see, micros is the same as minis, right? The high and the triple threat, the overnight high and the triple threat. So they look the same. So that same trade, if you're not comfortable taking that trade in minis, you just go to micros and take the trade. Because in micros, you can actually sit in the trade a lot longer, right? If 50 cent, if you say, okay, 50 cent, that's not enough. Okay, well then do 3, 4, 5 contracts. Because 10 contracts of micros is one mini. So you can do five micros, and that's only half of a mini. See what I'm saying? So you could take the same trade, but you're not risking as much money if you lose. So don't be scared to go to micros. I still trade micros. I'll do $200-300 a day in micros. Like so when I post my results, anytime you see something that's $200, $100, that's usually made in micros. Now, if you see something that's 300 or above, I normally took that in minis. But just like micros, the same exact trade, you could do 5 contracts because that's only $2.50 for every tick. In minis, that's 1 contract, that's $5 every tick. So with micros, you can actually play around with the contracts a lot more. Because I think with a 25K account, I think you can do like 30 micros. And I have ATM strategies that are 8 micros or 8 contracts on micros that works really good. And that's also in the Discord, or all just about any ATM strategy you want me to set up. I'll set it up and put it in Discord so you can see how to do it. But this 8 contract one is in there, and this is what it looks like. ATM strategy is 2 contracts, 2, 4, 6, 8, and they all move at different times.
This is for 25K?
Was that?
This is for 25K or 50K?
Well, on micros, yeah, you can use that on, you can use this on a 25K because 8 contracts is that's $4. I think that's $4 per tick instead of $5. With 1 mini is $5. With 8 micros, you're looking at $4. So it's still not as costly as 1 mini.
The target 1, target 2, target 3, those are all separate orders, or they're like
Yeah, those are, yeah, it's all separate orders. So like with this one, I'll show you what it looks like. So right here, if I took this trade, say I hit buy market, that's what it looks like. It shows 8 contracts, right? It shows 8 all in one spot. But if this market goes up, they all move at 2 contract increments. So they don't all move at the same time. It's like 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? They move at all separate times. And I have 2 of them just sitting back as a runner. So if the market keep going up and it knocks out all the other ones and goes up, I got that last 2 contracts just sitting back waiting for a really big trade.
they take different profits all over 4 contracts.
Was that?
Do they take different profits? Like if you take profit on one contract, another contract, or they all like take?
Yeah. You'll make profit off of each contract. So as the market is going up, if it comes back a little bit and knocks out 2 of the contracts, you made money. And it continues going up, they'll keep following behind it. It comes back down, knocks out another 2 contracts. You got 4 left. It keep going up, they keep following. You know what I'm saying? So it works kind of like that. But and like right here, it's going down against me. I'm only risking $200. That's not a lot of money with 8 contracts. You could come back from a $200 loss. But look how long you can sit in the trade and just chill. You're not in a rush to hurry up and get out. Now, if you did 8 contracts in minis, you're looking at $2,000, $2,000 loss. So you could sit in the trade. Look, I just sit in the trade and chill, just see where it goes. I'm not in a rush to hurry up and get out because I'm scared of losing $200. You know what I'm saying? But it shows you how the market moves, and you could just get more confident in your trades by trading micros. You know, because in minis, you'll lose $200 real quick if you don't know what you're doing. In micros, it takes a lot of ticks to lose $200 in here.
So, Coach, when I first start out, always start off with micros, correct? No minis.
On your eval,
Yeah.
I mean, you could trade your eval with minis, but once you get that approved, I recommend going to micros.
Do
I
these
recommend going to
platforms
micros. Hmm?
do these platforms have demo accounts like for you to practice, or is it just?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was my
yeah.
next question. That was my next
You
question.
have a demo when you buy a Apex account or
Mhm.
Bullinox. What you're paying for really is the data, so that you can see the charts move.
Mhm.
Right here where it says account, you would just pick sim, which is like paper trading. It's just called
Mhm.
sim. It's a sim account. And then on under right here under account, you hit that drop down, you'll see your Bulanox or your Apex accounts down here. And you, if you want to trade your evaluation, you just switch it to that account, click the button, and then now you'll be trading your actual evaluation. But simulation, you just switch this over to simulation, and you can practice simulation all you want. And like what I did with my 25K account, I traded simulation until I made $1,500 at least 3 times. So once I made 1,500 3 times in simulation, then I was like, all right, it's go time. Let me pull up this eval and try to make that 1,500 in my eval.
And by you having NinjaTrader, it allows you to link your Bullocks and your Apex account, correct?
Yeah, because me and you got to Zoom after this, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I'm
just
gonna show you
here
how to do all that.
just to get a peek. Yeah, just to get a peek of what's going on. I
Oh yeah,
understand.
I'm gonna show you how to do. That's what I do. The one-on-one, I'm gonna help you connect all this together. Ferg in
Okay,
the
got you,
building,
got you, got you, got you.
Hey.
big money, big money into the room here. How's
Listen,
everything
listen,
going, man?
I got confused. I'm on Central Time. Your Eastern
Yeah.
Time be throwing me off.
Did he ever fix the bot stuff for you?
No, he did not. He said it should be. He say something wrong with the licensing, and he on vacation, so he come back today.
Oh,
He said,
that's right. He on vacay.
yeah. He say he'll have it running by tomorrow.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, as I say, he a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah,
get you straight.
he was hitting me. I was hitting y'all about the same thing. Back to like I was hitting him on the emails, and I was talking to you through the text.
Okay.
So ready.
Yeah, yeah, because it worked good. As I said, I use it in the morning, and I just have it set for $200. I use the bot. It gives me like $200 on each one of my evals, and then I go trade my PAs.
So you
Hey,
still
Will.
use? I'm sorry.
Now go ahead, sir.
So Will, so when you use the bot, you still use the 5 minute chart?
Well, yeah, yeah. Now you don't need the chart, but if whatever account that I'm trading on the bot, I'll put the 5 minute chart on that account so that I can
Okay,
see the
okay.
bot trade.
Yeah, because I went to his Discord. There's a guy on there using the 10-second chart. Did you see that?
Yeah,
He made it,
you
and
can use whatever chart you want. It'll show on any chart
okay.
because the bot really don't care about a chart at all. You don't even have to have a chart open.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's going to
matter.
trade regardless. The reason
Okay,
why I open the trade is because if it gets stuck in a trade for any reason, or I can easily just hit close and get up out of
okay,
there.
okay.
Yeah, I don't trust nothing to trade without me seeing it.
Right.
Oh, so
I got
I was
trust
about to
issues.
Hey,
ask.
Will. Hey,
I was about
Will.
to ask.
Hold on 1 second, Rashad. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to ask, when it comes to evals or your PAs, how often do you switch the numbers out using the bot? The different settings and things like that. And how do you know if they're gonna work, or how do you know, let me switch this out, or let me keep this setting?
As far as the ATM strategy or the bot?
The bot.
Oh, well, with the bot, like on my smaller accounts, I'll
Hmm.
lower the target to like maybe $50 per trade
Okay.
because with the way the bot runs, you'll get $50 before you can sneeze. It's like
Right.
50 done. You're like, what? What? You might so you could do 50 5, 6 times in a row if you want to.
Okay. Okay.
But I put mine on 200 because I have 250K accounts.
Got you.
So
Okay.
I'll do 2 to 500 on the settings. But like the main thing with the settings that you want to look at is, let me pull my bot up. Right here on the bot, these settings right here, these are the main thing that's gonna tell you what it's gonna do. Now,
Okay.
right here, like, see, look, the last thing I had mine was at $80.
Okay.
80, close it out, leave me alone.
And what was
I
the
probably was running this on a PA.
Okay. And you got a stop loss on that one?
I don't really pay attention to the stop loss. I wouldn't put your stop loss at 900.
Okay.
This was at 900, but
Yeah.
I have a little more cushion in my accounts.
Right. Okay.
But
right.
yeah, but it gets $80 so fast. You know, I use it on my if I use it on my PA, I'm only trying to get 50 to anywhere between 25 to 80.
Okay.
And do like a loss of what, like
Um
150 or 100 or
if you don't have a lot of cushion on that PA, I will put it at like maybe 200 to make
okay.
50, $60.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Because $80 a day, 80 times 20 days, that's still $1,600.
Yes, sir.
Like you're like $80 not a lot. Yes, it is. But
Yeah. Yeah,
consistently get
it
80 a
is.
day, bro, that's $1,600.
Right.
How many accounts you got? That's a mega.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, exactly for them name 15, 16 accounts. That's why I'm trying to get to 31 accounts.
So you can use the bot on your evals and then use the bot on your real account.
Yep. Yep. This,
Okay.
this bot is yours. It's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. If you
But
got
do
a
you
cash
still have
account,
to
you can run it on
understand
cash too.
you still have to understand the markets, use the bot, or is it kind of like I'm still
It's
learning,
bot.
but I can use my bot while I'm making money while I'm learning, or you should kind of know what you're doing first before you use the bot?
Well, I give you the settings that I test out because I test out the settings on the weekend. Like tonight, I'm gonna run some settings to see which ones I like the best. Um, okay, but on here, you can. The only thing I look for on the 5 minute chart, like this right here, since it's a big red candle going down, I would change my bot to shorts only. So when the market comes back up, it puts me in a short and continues down. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, I'll put it on shorts just so I can see what happens. It did it up here. Dang, I missed it. It did it up here. So I'll show you what it looks like. So with the bot, since the market's going down, I'll do shorts only. It's free. I hate when it does that because it's a playback. Sometimes it be acting up on playback. But like if the since the market is going down, I'll put it in shorts only, and I'll let the bot just take short trades, right? If the market is going up, I'll put it on long only, and then but I won't change the settings at all. I won't change the settings. I'll just put it on long or shorts based on which way the market is moving more of. But if the market is not going long or short, say it's just like consolidating in one area, a little bit up, a little bit down, and just playing around. I'll put it on both because I'll make $50 up, $50 down. You know what I'm saying? I'll just tear the market up at little $50 trades. But like right now, since it's going more down than up, I'll put it on shorts only and I'll let my bot work. That's the only thing I really look at before I click that button.
But
And you
now,
see the market open and it immediately went down. I remember Tuesday. I got some money. I got some good money that day. All right, Rashad, go ahead.
should you get your bots when you first starting out? That's my first question. And another, should you use the bots for your evals and then still continue to learn via, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you can get your bot. You can get a bot whenever you feel comfortable. I mean, it's no rush. He gave me a 50% discount code, so no matter what, I can get you 50% off the bot. Um, but it all depends. I traded for 6 to 8 months before I ever bought my first bot.
So do you think if a person is a beginner and they get a bot, it could like hinder them? Because it's like I want to get the bot. I know it's an investment, but I don't want to get it, and it's like I don't really know how to use it because I'm still trying to figure out the fundamentals of the market. Like, is it something that a person should wait? I mean, I know you can get it whenever you want, but do you have to still know kind of what you're doing before getting the bot?
I mean, it helps. The more you know, helps better. But as someone that's new, I'd rather you learn how to manually trade, at least get a PA passed. I mean, an eval passed. If you could pass an eval manually, go ahead and get you a bot because you understand enough to where you could get it done on your own.
Okay.
That's the way I would gauge it, But I know people that before they got a PA, they got the bot and did just fine. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the person. But me personally, I waited till I had an eval passed. Actually, my first bot, I had two evals already. So I had two PAs and I bought my first bot. Used that for like a year or so. And then I got this one. I've only had this one for maybe 2-3 months. But I like this one better because it's a one-time payment versus the other bot was a monthly payment. But I believe in bots. I use a bot. I use a bot. I use indicators, whatever makes it successful.
Yeah, with the bot, you can get in and out. You get out of trades faster. We might miss a trade that the bot won't. The bot can catch it.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I say, I have it set to do like maybe $80 on my PAs, and on my evals I let it do 200, 2 to 500, and then once it gets that, I don't click the button more than once per account. I click it on 200 here, next account 200, and I do that within the first 5 minutes of the market. Within the first 5 minutes of the market, that bot probably traded 4 or 5 evals done, and then I'll manually trade my PAs at like 9:35, 9:40.
You're not comfortable taking you're not comfortable taking
Sure, you gotta speak a little louder. You got such a little voice.
I'm sorry. I said you're not comfortable taking trades with the bot on like all of your accounts on the one like copier trader.
Oh, you gotta speak into the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're not comfortable taking your trades on the bot, your PA accounts on the bot with the copier trader, your multiple accounts.
You might have to type it, Jerry. I cannot hear. I hear you a little bit and then it goes out.
Oh man. I don't know. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, I see. I said, are you comfortable taking your PA accounts on copier trader with the bot?
No. I don't let the bot copy more than two. I've let it copy whatever the main account, I let it copy on one other account. But the one time I let it trade copy on 4 accounts, it froze on me.
Mm.
But I still did it on evals, not PAs. I copy traded on like 4 evals, and it froze. I still made money because I was able to close it out real fast, but it did freeze up on me. I was like, okay. But one account or maybe 2, it has not frozen on me. But because you got to think, you're using the bot is third party, and then you're trading multiple accounts on a copier third party. So the copier and the bot are both third party applications. But the bot trades so fast, you don't really have to copy it. You know what I'm saying? You just click the button, money. Like 10 seconds later, click the button, 10, 15 seconds later, 200. Click the button again, 10, 15 seconds later, another 200. Like it works pretty fast. So yeah, there's no real reason to copy trade with a bot.
Is that why they charge every month for the bot?
No, this bot is only one time. The
Oh,
old
okay.
bot that I used to use, even though I think it worked great, it was like 1,000 a month.
Gotcha.
Now
Gotcha.
the bot takes losses sometimes too,
Yeah.
right? Or no?
Oh yeah, yeah, it takes losses. But like the settings that I have right here, I ran those settings. I took 19 trades. It lost on the very last trade. So it was 18-0.
Mm.
And I was like, oh heck yeah, I'm running these, I'm gonna run these settings until it loses. Oh, the bot coupon is Mr. H Trades. And I could send you guys a trial. There's a 2-week trial on the bot. So you could try it out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I recommend you try it for 2 weeks. Like really try it out. It only runs now. It only runs on simulation. When I first got the bot, it actually worked on your evals during the trial. But I think he figured that out and stopped it from doing that. I was like, man. But yeah, test it out for 2 weeks. Run it like crazy. Change the settings, everything. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's trading, guys. You know, if you don't want to use it on your PA, for the longest, I only used the bot to get my evals approved. That way I didn't have to waste time on evals. I let the bot do it $100 a day, and I'll take my time getting my eval passed. There's no rush.
I think that's the route I'm planning on taking.
Yeah. Yeah, because you gotta think if the bot loses money on the evaluation, it's like, eh, it was $20, $30. You know, yeah, $30, that don't even feed my family at McDonald's. But my the way I feel about evals is a little bit different than other people. Because I'll tear eval up. Now here's a prime example of closure. Y'all see this brown line was a 4-hour level. Y'all see once the market went down and closed, it closed here, opened up here. Look how it tapped it, right? So at first, this brown line was support, meaning when the market came down, it bounced up a little bit, supported. Once it broke through that support now turns into resistance. The market closed. When it came back to it, it said, nope, can't get past, drop down. Look at all that money. That is from 803 all the way down to 709. Let's do the math on that. That's 803 minus 709.
At five
That's
ticks,
that's 94 points. I mean, yeah, that was 94 points. Right? There's 4 ticks or 4 pips, 4 pips for every point. So you times that by 4. That is 376 ticks. Every tick is $5. So times that 376 times 5. That is $1,800. That little movement from here to here was $1,800 one contract. That's the power of levels. You
So
could have made money off the bounce. You probably would have. Once again, I said the overall was red. That daily candle was a red candle. So if I was going to buy the market, I wasn't trying to make a bunch of money. You could have bought the market right here. You would have made 50 to 100, and then it continued down. Once it closed below that brown line, it opened up right here. It went back up. That brown line said no go. That support is now resistance. It resisted all the way down here. This is a 5-minute candle. One contract, you'd have made $1,800 in 5 minutes. Ain't nowhere in the world you're gonna make $1,800 in 5 minutes. Nowhere.
So, Mr. H, I was under the impression that once a candle closes below the level, that level was no longer a valid level. But what you're saying is, well, it's it's not a support level, but it's still good as a resistance level.
Yep, because support turns into resistance. Just like this overnight low. Once it went below the overnight low and closed, if it ever comes back to this overnight low, I'm selling it. I'm selling it down because overnight low is a strong level, and 4-hour levels are strong levels. And it goes like a 1 hour level is strong, but a 4-hour level is stronger than a 1 hour. The bigger the level, the higher the level, the stronger. A daily level, very strong level. So yeah, so no level uh is done until at least the next day. Because guess what? If the market comes up back up here and it goes above this brown line and closes, guess what? That brown line is back to a supporting level because it's still that current day. Now the next day, yeah, I get rid of it. It ain't good the next day.
So the $5 per tick, that's the macro?
That's the mini
Oh, that's the
or
mini.
NQ.
MNQ?
NQ is
Oh,
$5.
NQ. Okay.
MNQ is 50 cent.
Okay. So somebody took that same trade and the other one,
They would have
does
made
that?
180 something dollars
Okay.
with one contract. Yeah, so that's the difference. Micros, you would have made $180. Minis, you would have made 1,800. But you also wouldn't have risked that much money either.
So I think in the past for myself, what I've been doing possibly wrong, according to what you're saying now, is I was putting resting orders in instead of keeping my finger on the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be, sometimes as a beginner, you just have to practice on being quick draw McGraw. Because the resting orders are good if you have cushion. If you have a decent cushion in your account, you can do a resting order because if it goes against you, you'll be okay. It's called a sweep. They call it a bull trap and a bear trap sweep. Because when you're new, a lot of new traders, they'll put a resting order, but their stop loss is like -20. So the market will put you in the trade, it'll go against you, that -20, take your lunch money, and then go in the direction you knew it was going to go.
Right.
Yeah, they're just sweeping the market, just snatching up lunch money. That's why my ATM strategies are -60. If the market goes -60, I deserve to lose that money. I deserved it because I got in at the wrong time. Because a bull trap and a bear trap sweep don't normally come -60 ticks. But it all depends on that entry level. That's why I want you guys to focus on entry, and that's why I tell you the tips that I had 3 instructors. None of them told me about 3 taps. None of them told me wait for the bull trap sweep to come back down, then jump in a trade. They were just like, well, you got to perfect your entry. How? Give me a tip. How do I perfect that? 3 instructors, and each one was over $800 for their course. None of them told me those things I told you. It wasn't until John, my current instructor, that I'm in the day trading course. That's why I'm in his trading course. His morning class, because he's the first one that told me about those 3 taps and waiting for bull trap sweeps. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I pay him $300 a month to be in his trade room. Because out of 3 other instructors, none of them told me that.
Very good investment.
So yeah, very good. Yeah. So I was 3 instructors in, and I had to figure out when to get into the market. So waiting for it to go above that level a little bit and coming back down to the level, then jumping in a trade. That was my strategy. The 3 taps is what John taught me. And I turn around and give that to y'all because I don't
Can you
gatekeep.
can you repeat that? Can you repeat that rule if you
The three
didn't
taps,
say it?
if
Yes,
the
sir.
market is coming towards a level that I'm looking at, I wait to see what it does. If it touched my level 2 times, that third time I'm taking the sell. Same thing with a buy. If it's coming down to the level and it taps it 2 times, that third time it taps it, I'm buying it and going up. But if it taps it once and then the second time it goes through it, I'm gonna wait for it to come back to it, and then I'll take it on the way up or on the way down. But I'll wait to see 1 or 2 taps before I jump in. That's how I gauge my entries. And I had 3 instructors before I learned that. And trust me, them damn courses was $1,200 to $1,500 each. I was like, ooh, I've been robbed. I mean, don't get me wrong, I learned a lot from them people, but still, the one of the best lessons was, when do you know when to click that button? You can mark up your chart all day, but and still not know when do you click the button though.
So when it taps the first time and then if it goes below the level, you're waiting for it to tap again on the, like,
Wait
coming
for it
up
to
from
come
the
back above.
bottom
Yeah, just
or
wait for it to come
above.
back through it. Like
Okay.
this trade right here, I would have waited for it to tap twice, and then I would have took it on the third tap because it could have came up and went through it a little bit, If it would have went above this level up here, I would have waited for it to come back down to that level. Then I would have sold it on the way down. But this one, you notice it didn't even go above it because it probably tapped it twice. Trade, go down. Because if it taps it twice and can't break through it, that means there's a lot of heat. There's a lot of sellers right there pushing it down.
Hey, Will, well, one more time. So when it taps the levels like two or three times, like let's say if it was let's see, let's say if it was going up as okay, let's say it was going up as a buy, right? It was going up as a buy, but it tapped that line two or three times. At that point, we're going to take it as a sell, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it tried 3 times to get above it.
And it didn't, so you're going to take the opposite trade.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Because I know you've seen it a lot of times. It get to that level and be like, I'm going through it. Pew! You just took your trade and got smacked. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't tap twice. It tapped one time, was like, I'm through it. And then it came down. You know what I'm saying? That's called a bull trap or a bear trap sweep. They're just sweeping up all the people that got that stop loss at 20. 20, 25 ticks. They snatching all their lunch money. Then they'll go down and eventually into profit. So until you have a nice cushion, wait for that 3 taps before you just jump in. And that works on the way up or the way down. They call it, like, if it's coming on the way down, it's like catching a falling knife. You're not just going to try to grab it. You're going to wait for that knife to slow down a little bit. Then you're going to jump in and buy it up. So those are just little things that you look for when it gets close to that level. But I'm glad this happened because that was a perfect example of the closure. Wait for the closure. It closed. Now, if this candle right here would have stopped and started going back up, I would have bought it right here on the way up. But it didn't do that. It came down and it closed. And the next candle opened below that level, tapped it, and went down. So once it closed, I was like, all right, I'm looking for a sell because it closed below it. So resistance support turned into resistance. And it's like that on just about every level you can look at. You could go as far back in the past and you see that it'll do that on other levels. Like right here. Well, that don't count because that's the overnight high. All I have is levels from today marked. But if I would have had some of the older levels marked, you would have seen how it moved around those too. But that's why we practice. We practice so we could see that live action. Because it's easy to show you what happened in the past. Like, see, it happened. Okay, but how do you know in the time of action though? It's easy to say, hey, look how it bounced. Like, yeah, that was 6 hours ago. Hindsight is always 2020. That's why I do these live sessions of practice because we've seen it play out. We've seen it go down, stop, close, open up, stop right on the cue and bounce down. We've seen it happen. I made it a point to not teach in a manner of what already happened. We've seen it happen while we were here. It's 9:45. Let's go back. And now sometimes there are times where it don't tap 3 times. There's times where it doesn't tap 3 times. It'll touch it and go straight down. You know what? Don't feel bad. You were following the rules. Follow the rules. You followed the rules. It didn't tap 3 times. You might have missed that trade, but guess what? It's better than having FOMO thinking, oh, let me jump in and get your head knocked off. I'd rather miss the trade and be like, I'll wait for another one.
Is that considered a retest?
Yep. That's a retest of a level.
Okay.
See, look, Pink, you got this. you already know all the words. The vocab is very important. It's like speaking another language. That is a retest. It went to your level, it broke below it, and it retested that level.
Like the breakout and the retest. I think I got to get out of the mindset of swinging, though. I think that's making me look at the levels a little differently. But yeah.
You get out of the Forex. And as I said, in Forex, you had to watch for the swing because in Forex, there were big swings. Out of nowhere, it'll go from here and shoot up. And out of nowhere, it'll shoot down.
Hmm.
That's it, the price point is a big swing. Nasdaq, I forgot what the number is. I got to look this up because I know Charity. I think it was Charity that asked me that question. I got to look at the ticks, but NQ only moves in one direction. So many ticks in one swing. It only moves so much in one swing before it turns back around. I'll find that number for you guys. It's just an average number, but it's good to know. So I'll look for that number for you guys. But it only moves so many times in one direction before it starts moving in a different direction. But in Forex, that's not true. It could swing crazy. And you're like, man, why I lose so much money? Because Forex is
Yeah,
unpredictable.
it's swingers. I think they tell like when I was beginning was like catch 30 pips, and then some of the more advanced people would be like 50, 100 or something plus pips.
Yeah.
But it was big swings. So
Yeah, it's big swings in there, but Forex, I mean futures for the most part, especially Nasdaq, because Nasdaq is for one is more regulated, and Nasdaq is a bunch of companies, right? So it's really hard for 1,000 companies or however many is under there to just all shoot up in profit or all drop down in profit. The only time you will see big swings on Nasdaq, the ES, S&P, gold, only time you see big swings is when that news pop up. When this news pop up, that's the only time you'll see big swings. And they don't try to hold it from you either. But like, get out of here making all that noise. My dog just hacking up. Let me
So
try to
when they
see
hear the
what.
news, when the news hits, Will, is that like everybody panicking, selling? You know,
I
like
know. I'll show you what it means. Where's Jerome Powell at? Oh, Romy Rome. I'll pull it up and find him.
So those vocabulary words that Hank was talking about,
Mhm.
is that in the classes? You highlight that in the class?
Yeah. I have a whole area for vocabulary.
Okay. Just make sure.
Okay, so this right here, it tells you as head of central bank, which controls short-term interest rates, Jerome Powell has more influence over the nation's currency value than any other person, right? Traders scrutinize his public engagements as they are often used to drop subtle clues regarding future monetary policy. They tell you right there is manipulated. They tell you right there his public engagements as they are often used to drop subtle clues. So if you not Jerome Powell homeboy, if you ain't in that text message thread, Nancy Pelosi, you should not be trading. You need to stay out the market because they know something that you don't know. And when he start running off at the mouth, that market start getting crazy. People are making millions. We not
is,
at that $1 million level yet.
is that for currencies or that's so wait,
That's
this is the
that's across
same.
the board.
So how does the currency the since you said like NASDAQ and stuff as companies, how does the currency news affect the companies?
Because it's all interest rates. Anytime Jerome Powell speaks, he drops subtle clues. We're not privy to those subtle clues.
So it got you like USD has a red folder. So like in Forex, it's like I would stay away from like a USD pair or something like that because
Yeah,
I know that market or that currency is gonna be affected. But I think I was trying to figure out how the currency would affect the companies. But
yeah, that's why we look at force factor as well. Because see the euro, anytime you
mhm.
see euro it has news, Greek presidential elections. So I wouldn't be trading if I was doing forex. I'll stay away from anything with the euro because things that happen in that country affect their dollar. But guess what? This euro news right here ain't got nothing to do with Nasdaq. We could care less. So
Okay,
that's
so
why on
NASDAQ is
Forex
just
Factory,
mhm.
that's good information on Forex Factory because that euro affects the euro if that's what you're trading, but it don't have anything to do with Nasdaq.
So NASDAQ is just USD.
Yeah, Nasdaq is mostly American companies.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wouldn't affect it, but this right here, USD, like GBP, that won't affect it. That's why it's orange because that'll affect Forex, but it won't affect Nasdaq. This right here, Fed Chair Powell, USD red folder, that affects us. That affects
So
NASDAQ.
NASDAQ is USD, correct?
It's US. Yeah, it's US. It's America. So yeah, so that's PAL. So even if you were in another country, you would pay attention to PAL speaking because England trades NASDAQ, Japan, all over the world trades this. That's why it's open 23 hours a day. But yeah, they tell you right there. They'll tell you right here. It is used to drop subtle clues. If you're not in that email thread, you don't need to have your butt in the market at 11 o'clock. They tell you 11 o'clock, pal's talking. Leave it alone. Now you can wait till like I'll wait 5 minutes after pal finishes speaking, and then I'll get back in the market. So a minute before and at least a minute to 5 minutes after that time of 11 o'clock. And that's any red folder. This one's 9:30. It happened at 9:30. All right, so at 9:29, I'm gonna make sure my butt is not in the market because CPI is gonna make something move. It's gonna make it shake. So red and orange folders, watch out for on Forex Factory. On US.Econo Day, watch out for the green and the red. And it's just a minute before and up to a minute to 5 minutes after the news. You could jump right back in the market.
Now, do you have to follow the new levels? Like if with the USD being a red folder for NASDAQ, I know you said it doesn't really make like big jumps, but if it did go down with when you get back in, is like how does that affect NASDAQ if it's something that will make the market go down? Is it gonna dramatically go down or
Yeah, it could be some decent sized swings in there, but with the futures market, when the news happens, it'll shoot up or down. But then once the news calms down, it'll be a long wick. It'll be a long wick above and a long wick below. So basically, with the news, it'll get back, it'll adjust it back to where close to where it should be. But
okay.
you'll see a long wick up and a long wick down. That's why you don't want to be in there a minute before and up to a minute after. Let that wick go away, and then it'll calm down. Then you can get back to trading. And now, if it goes past some of your levels, I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't. I'll be a little more careful around those levels. But they tell you when the news is going to happen, so it's not like a surprise. And sometimes the news don't do nothing. It could be a red folder, and at 9:30, you're like, "Oh, nothing happened. Okay, cool. Let's get back in. Let's continue what we were doing." Once again, it's just letting you know, hey, is a red news at 10:30. Be careful. Chill about 10:29, and by 10:31, if nothing crazy happened, resume trading.
Will there be a bat signal in the air for that to happen? Like, you know what I'm saying?
This is the bat
Like,
signal.
yeah. Oh no, I understand that. Like, when y'all put it in the Discord and be like, red, red folder, and then like I'm
Um,
gonna see that type thing. I'm gonna have to
if if
learn it on my own.
if you're in, well, I'm in a trade group. If you're in the trade group, we do. But when you're trading in the market, I want the reason why I don't have one of the reasons why I don't have a trade room is because I want you to get used to doing this stuff as a habitual occurrence. Every morning, I want you to put, as soon as you get up, Forex Factory, US.Econo Day. Okay, 8:30, 10 o'clock news. I bet. Write it down. All right, let me start marking on my chart. And I want you to get used to doing that. But once you get comfortable, that's when at any time when you're ready, you can join our trade room and trade every morning with the rest of us. It's just the trade room is 300 a month because it's not mine.
We got to
We're
get you
right
your own
here
trade room.
at that level, huh?
I said we got to get you your own trade room.
I no, 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 I don't even want my old trade room. Because what's his name? Is Jenny still in here? Jeanette? No, Jeanette's not in here. Like Jeanette, she's in the trade room with us. Um, and she'll tell you, as soon as I get my money, I'm out. That's why I can't run the trade room because I trade 30 minutes, bro. 30, 40 minutes. Once I get my 500 to 1,000, Boop, Will is gone. I don't be playing around in this market,
How
but
long is
every
Beast Trader
oh
in
he be in there for like maybe an hour, 2 hours. They be in there chilling.
sheesh.
He'll be in there. He'll do a Zoom at 6 o'clock at night when the market opens.
Oh wow.
So his to be in there. That now for those that don't know, John is my mentor.
Right.
So it's his trade room. John to be in there. John to be in there all the time. And if you want to get a one-on-one, you need help with something, and you're in the group, he'll do a one-on-one and help you out.
I,
So
I I saw one of his lives and took a trade with him when he was saying he was doing a trade on there and then he was explaining how to do certain stuff. I took a trade with him. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. I put in the
I'm
chat box like thanks.
and that's the thing. Like I teach you the beginning trading strategies. I teach you how to get your evals passed. I teach you how to make decent money every day to where you can quit your job. John, he gonna teach you how to get 1 million. John gonna teach you how to get 1 million. But if you don't know how to trade, he not gonna take your money. He'll be like, he asks you a couple questions. If you answer the questions right, he'll be like, all right, here's the invoice. Come on in, let's trade. And I'll be in there. I'll be in there giving y'all trades and talking. He teaches you how to do other strategies that
Hmm.
outside of what I teach.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't be gatekeeping. Like a lot of people like, oh, my instructor, who's your instructor? Oh, but tell us your instructor. I'll tell you, hey, y'all want to follow John? Follow him. He go live sometime on TikTok. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he do.
He
Yeah,
be
we be
going
trying to
live giving
catch
out
him.
some sauce too.
Yeah, yeah, we be trying to catch him on TikTok. He rarely go on TikTok, but
He don't be on TikTok that often because he be in the room with us at 9:30. But if you
yeah,
catch him on TikTok, hey, jump in there. Is
yes.
Beast Trader or something like that on
Beast
TikTok?
Trader is 65, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah. If he
on
hop
it too.
on, hey, by
Yeah,
all means, jump in there. He gonna give you some
Yeah,
sauce now.
definitely did that day.
yeah. How many people in the trade group?
I think it's like 30 of us now.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, yeah, we'll be there soon.
Yeah, we be in there
Right.
chilling. Yeah, Jeanette was in there chilling, making money.
So quick question. When you finish marking up daily, 4 hour, and the hour, you said you don't mark up the 5, you're just using the 5 for the entry.
Yep.
And then what level, if it hits on the 5, you're looking for it to hit your 1 hour entry level,
Or any levels. That's
any
why I
levels,
color
and then
code
you
them. Like right here,
okay.
this green is the overnight low. This brown, look how it's moving. This is what I wanted to show you guys. The brown level right here, you can put a resting order there. I'm gonna pause it because we know it went down here, right? And I just want y'all to see how it moves when it gets close to that level. But I also want you to see what this 8 contract ATM strategy does. I want y'all to see how it moves. All right, so we're gonna hit play. And this is why ATM strategies are important. And we're gonna see how what it does when it gets to this level and how it moves. Let me speed it up a little bit. And you got to be patient. Just wait for it. You have your levels marked up. Be patient to see what happens around those levels. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting a rest in order just so you can see what it does. See that? Boom, right there. See how it tapped up there real quick? That's why you got to be quick draw McGraw. But look, as soon as it tapped it, I'm already up 600 with 8 contracts. This is how I trade my 250K accounts. And look, you could look, it tapped it twice. That's 3 times. That was the third time it tapped it. And look, it went down. See how it moves? That's called a trailing stop. It trails behind it. Look how that last runner, that's called a runner. It's just running behind it. That's why ATM strategies are important. I don't know if I saved, look, 3,700 in one trade because I used a 8 contract ATM strategy. That's what a resting order is. Is a resting order. It put me in a trade, and then I had a trailing stop. I show y'all how to do that in the course. These are what trailing stops are. That's how you program the trailing stop. It was 8 contracts, and they all moved down a little bit at a time each. It's a little more advanced strategy, but once you get comfortable, once you build that cushion, that's when you want to use ATM strategies like this. Or you could have did that same strategy in micros, and you would have made some good money in micros doing it. Because in micros, don't be scared to use 8 contracts. That's only $4 per tick. But yeah, that was that level right there. It touched it 2-3 times, and I would have took the trade. It bounced down. And sometimes you just got to be patient. But if you're just trying to get $50 to $100, you would have made 50 to 100 in that trade in the first 10 seconds. Done. Because $100 a day is $2,000 a month. So don't think you got to get a bunch of money every trade.
And so for your trailing stops, you already had like targets set up, different targets set up.
Yep, right here. My stop loss was at 60. Profit, I had profit at 0. That means there's no target. So I don't have a target on mine. I have it at 0. That means if I'm doing a sell, if it shoots down real fast, I'm snatching up all that loot.
Okay.
But I have trailing stops to where my stops will move and they followed it down. So if it came back up,
okay.
I still locked in some money.
Okay, I got you.
But that's more advanced. As a beginner, I show you how to do the $50 ATM strategy. Right here I have mine at negative 40 ticks, but profit at 10. Soon as it goes 10 ticks in a profit, $50, it closes you out. You want to get $100? Okay. Look for 2 areas of trade. 50, 50, you made $100 for the day. That's $2,000 a month, you're done. You know, get $50 a day until you get comfortable. Raise that 10 ticks to 15. That's 75 a day. Raise it to 20, $100 a day. Raise it up slowly until you get to a point where, okay, I'm at $200 a day. I can't go higher than that because I keep losing, but I can consistently get 200 a day. There's your consistency level. You found, okay, I'm $200 consistent per trade. Get your 200, get up out of there. And when I say get up out of there, I mean close your laptop, you're done. And just do 200 a day.
How many ticks is 200 a day?
How many ticks is what?
How many ticks is 200 a day?
40.
Oh.
40 ticks. So if you get to the point where you consistently can get 40 ticks in the market without losing, hey, that's a good number. $200 a day, that's $4,000 a month per account. You got 2 accounts, that's $8,000 a month. Don't think 200 ain't a lot of money. Don't think 50 not a lot. 50 is $1,000 a month. That's good money.
Because you can still use a copy trader, right?
Yep.
Once you
Yep.
get okay.
The more accounts you get approved, all right. Like Ferg, he out of, I think he out of here. Ferg, he does $100 a day times 15 accounts. You know what I'm saying? He don't be in here all day, just like I don't be in here all day. I see a trade, I take that trade, 50 to 100, I'm done because that's 50 to 100 times 16 accounts. Why do I have to keep trading? I have no reason to keep trading. And trust me, $50 times 16 accounts, that's 16,000 a month, easy, without breaking a sweat.
Last question, Ms. H.
Mhm.
The 20 ticks or however many ticks is it the same equivalent for micros or is like more ticks because
Micros is 50 cents.
but it's the same amount of ticks, but it's just
Yeah,
it's
same
not.
amount of ticks. Yep.
Oh, so 40 ticks is still 200 a day even with micros.
No, 440 ticks in micros is $40. It's $20. So 40 ticks in micros is $20. 40 ticks in minis is 200.
Okay, I see.
So if and like a lot of times, like I'll show my results, you'll see sometimes I have $25, $24 in there. That's because I was trading micros. But if I was did that same trade in minis, that $24 is $240.
Mm.
Larry, you about to say something, Larry? Okay. Yeah, so if you're trading micros and you only do 20 bucks, that's still good because you're getting comfortable with trading. Once you switch over from micros to minis, that same $20 trade you took in micros is 200 in minis. So if you're practicing micros and you notice you're getting $20 every time you trade, once you switch over to micros, that's $200 every time you trade. So that's good numbers. And we could and $20 a day, $25 a day is still 500 a month. And guess what? You got 5 accounts. That's five times the 25 a day. You know, right now we just trying to make give ourselves a raise. When you're new, you're trying to make enough money to give yourself a extra raise every month because y'all got jobs. Obviously, y'all got jobs paying bills. You get in this market, make an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month on top of your 9 to 5. And then as you're making that money, you're going to get better and better at trading. Don't rush because if you rush the process, you're going to get stuck in that loop of making money, losing money, and you'll never get to a payout. Right? It took me a while to understand that. I was in there trying to make $400 or $500 a day, and I couldn't do it. I might have one day where I get 400, then I lose $100 3 days in a row. What was the purpose of making 500 if I lost 100 3 days in a row? So I was like, let me scale back, and I was like, I'm gonna do 50 to 100 a day. Once I started doing 50 to 100 a day, my withdrawals came like this, like clockwork, because I didn't stress out. It was easy. It was easy getting 50 bucks, and I built my account, got a nice cushion. Now I could do 500 a day because I got a 10, $15,000 cushion. So if I lost 1,000, I'm not mad. My cushion is 15,000. I gotta have 15 bad days of $1,000 loss for that to even affect me. But y'all got to build that cushion and take your time building it, and you'll be fine. But it is 1:52, and me and Rashad still got to do our Zoom. You guys got any other questions? Anybody?
No, thank you for the session. I'm gonna go start my course.
And we got our Zoom Monday, right?
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Sunday. Is it Monday?
Sunday. Okay, yeah, Sunday. We'll do it Sunday. I
Okay.
don't have my phone's over there, but yeah, we good. We still good for Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
And,
Cool.
Rashad, give me about 10 minutes, Rashad, and then we could go. We do ours to set up.
All right, no doubt.
All right,
Okay,
y'all.
Mr. H,
Everybody good?
Mr. H, when will you be available tomorrow?
Let me see. What you need help doing? So I know how long.
Uh, Look, man, I passed a PA, and some kind of way it got. You remember when I sent you those pictures the other day where I couldn't get into a trade because uh, uh, what was going on? I can't even think about what was happening. I'll text you the information.
Yeah. So you did get one
Okay.
passed. You still have it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bullinox sent me, well, they acknowledged the fact that I had passed it, but some kind of way it got taken off of the control center, and I couldn't get it back on. I don't
Oh
understand
yeah,
that.
yeah. I can tell you that now. Go
Okay.
to Bullinox, and
Yeah.
you'll on your probably on your dashboard. It'll say master account. It'll say master account.
Right.
That's where it's at.
Right.
You
Okay.
go to master account and you pay for it, and it activates it, and then you'll see it
Oh,
on your
okay.
charts.
Okay. Well, I did fill out the information that they asked for,
Mhm.
but I don't know if I actually paid for it. Maybe I need to just go
Yeah,
back and check
once
that
you
out.
pay for it, your eval turn is called a master account in Bulanox.
Right, right.
On
Okay,
Apex is called a PA account. Bulanox is called a
right, right.
master account. Yeah, they
Okay.
don't do like Apex where they send you an email and all that. They
Yeah.
on there you gotta it just says master account. Click that button, fill it out, pay for it. Then you'll see it back on your dashboard or on
Okay.
NinjaTrader.
Okay. So I got a quick question for my fellow students. When y'all trying to pass these evals, how are y'all actually going about doing it? Now I know Mr. H sometimes he say I'll throw a Hail Mary. Uh, I get that. Are y'all actually trading strategies and inching your way up to the evaluation, or are you taking the strategy and throwing a Hail Mary from it? I'm listening. I guess everybody gone.
I would say both.
Okay, okay.
Listen, I put it like this: like when you go in there, when you let's say you had to reset it for whatever reason. Do you have the bot yet or no? Do you have the bot?
No, no.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, if you start off with a fresh account, if you want to go ahead and do if you want to set a strategy up to see what you can get, maybe get like, I don't know, maybe like 300 something that day. Like if you want to inch it up and do it for so many days, then do a strategy. If you want to do a Hail Mary, then don't set what you say, Bill? Don't set
Target.
Target.
yeah, don't set a target. Just go in there. The times that you would normally go in there, and at that point, if you want to do a Hail Mary, just go in there and at the time when everybody's trading, and don't set a target, and just go for it, but just stop it. Like you get what you can get. If it goes down and you're up like $700 and it's about to go back up, then stop it. Well, man, now you got $700. So the Hail Mary don't have to be you getting the whole amount, the whole
In one day. Yeah.
1,500 at one day, but you can do a Hail Mary, like, you know what, I'm gonna just let this ride out and see. I know it's at the right time. I see that, the market is on up or down, whatever, and whatever you can get within that time frame, if you get like 400, okay, just stop it. And then just do the same thing the next day. So you don't have to do everything all at one time, but could they give you what 10, was it 8 days? They give you 8 days now. So oh, he's on Bull Knox. Okay, I don't know about Bull
Yeah,
Knox, but
Bulldog's slightly different. I got to check, but yeah. I
just do
mean,
either
but even,
one.
yeah,
Whatever
even if
you
you get it
feel.
passed fast, you'll be fine.
Yeah, whatever you feel.
But it also depends on how much money. Like if you don't want to lose too much money buying a bunch of accounts, then of course I don't recommend Hail Mary. I recommend 100, 200 a day until it's approved. But like when they're doing like a 91% sale, hey, look, 91%, you talking about 10, 12, $13 per account? Oh yeah, I'm going bananas over there. I'm trying to get these done. And if I lose, I'll cancel, get another one. But your PAs, baby the PA.
Okay. Thank you all.
But yeah, but all right, guys, I got to do a Zoom in a little bit. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And if it's sunny where you at, enjoy the day.
Have a good
Miss
one, y'all.
All
Tony.
right, check you out later.